Hello everyone, and welcome to the second part of my Microsoft 365 project. And for those of you who haven't seen the first part, I will link it down below. Now, in today's project, we will be focusing on the following things: Outlook, Exchange, Teams, SharePoint, a little bit of troubleshooting, and document recovery. Okay, our first task will be to create a shared mailbox. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll go inside of our admin account. Then we will click on Exchange. After clicking on Exchange, we will end up in Exchange Admin Center. Inside of Exchange Admin Center, we go to Recipients, then we go to Mailboxes. And here we click on Add Shared Mailbox. The name of our mailbox will be simply Mailbox. Email address, Mailbox. Select the domain, which is our domain, Mailbox. And we click on Create. Our mailbox has been created. Now we need to add users to the mailbox. We can do that by pressing Add User to Mailbox, or after closing this tab, we click on the mailbox we have created, then we go to Delegation, then here we select our users. We go to Edit, Add Members, Alice Johnson, Jane Smith, Save, Confirm. We do the same thing to Read and Manage. Good. Now our mailbox has been created and two users have been added to the mailbox. The step is to make this mailbox appear inside of the Outlook application of our two users. So what I will do, I will copy this email address of the mailbox. Then I will go to the accounts of the two users. Here on the left, I have Alice Johnson, and on the right, I have Jane Smith. We click on Outlook. After clicking on Outlook for Alice Johnson, we'll end up here. Same thing for James Smith. Then after that, we inside of Mail, we go to this hamburger menu. We click on it, and here we see Alice main email or domain. We click on this three-dot menu. Then we click on Add the shared folder or mailbox. We click on it. And here we insert the domain of the shared mailbox. We click on Continue. See that the shared mail account has been added. We close it, close this one. And here we can see that we have access to our shared mailbox. We can do the same thing for James Smith. Click on the menu, click on the three dots, add the shared mailbox, and done. Mailbox has been added to both users. Now let's test our mailbox. I will go to back to my admin account. I will open Outlook, and here inside of Outlook, I'll go to New Mail, insert the mail of the mailbox. I will click on Test Mail of Mailbox, Mailbox Mail, then click on Send. After clicking on Send, I'll go back to our two users, our mailbox, click on Inbox, and here we can see that our email has been sent successfully to both of our users. Now, the user here has a choice. He can either reply to this email as himself, or he can reply as the actual mailbox. To do that, he or she clicks on the email, clicks on reply, writes his reply, standard reply. Then he or she goes to options, then clicks on show from. And here we can see that after clicking on show from, we can show that the email comes from the mailbox and not from the user. We click on send. The email has been sent. We go to our admin account. And here you can see I have received a notification, test mail of mailbox, and we can see standard reply, and we can see that the sender, the one who sent this mail, is mailbox. It isn't Alice Johnson, because we have specified the show from option property. Good. our mailbox, our shell mailbox works properly. The same thing can be done on Jane's account, but I won't repeat it here. Now, let's go back to our note-taking app, check that we have done the first step. Our next step is to talk about Microsoft 365 groups, the shell mailbox of the groups, Teams, and SharePoint. Okay, first off, let's create a group, a Microsoft 365 group. The usual way in which a Microsoft 365 group is created is this. You go inside of Admin Center, then you go to Active Teams and Groups, then you click on Add a Microsoft 365 group. I don't like to do it that way. The way in which I prefer to create a group is to go inside of Enter ID. So we go down here, we click on Identity, and after clicking on Identity, we'll end up here in Microsoft Admin Center. Now, once we are inside of here, we go down and click on Groups. Here we then click All Groups. We can see all of our groups and click on New Group. Then we select the group type. This time, it won't be a security group like in the first video. It will be a Microsoft 365 group. We will give this group a name and we will call it marketing. Not marketing, let's call it sales group. And for the email, I will put it in all lowercase, sales group. And then we just click on create. Successfully created the group. Let's see our group by refreshing the browser. Okay, after refreshing the browser, we can see that our group has been created, sales group. Let's copy this email address. Now, we want to see as the users that we are a part of this group. To do that, we go inside of Outlook, then we go down, then we click on this hamburger menu, then we click on Go to Groups. Once we click on Go to Groups, we see that we are a part of the group. However, I haven't added the users to the group, so let's go ahead and do that. We will go to our sales group we have created, then we click on Members, then we click on Add a Member or Add Members, and we will select Alice Johnson and Jane Smith. Then we select, refresh the page so we can actually see the users. Here we can see our users. Then down here we can click on Own and see who is the owner of the group, and by default the one who created the group is the owner of the group, so I am the owner of the group. But if I want to, I can make a user or a member a owner of the group. Okay, our two members have been added. I am the owner of the group. Let's go into the account of one of our users, and we can see that our group has been added. So let me show it one more time. Then we go back into my inbox. Then we go here, we press on the hamburger menu, then we go to Groups. And here we can see our sales group. I will make this browser image a little, browser window a little bigger. Sales group, and here we can see our sales group. This is the mailbox of our sales group, and we can test it. We can go as admin, then go inside here, we click on new mail, insert the domain of the group. Let's call it test email of sales group and sales consent. Now we go back to our user, and here we can see that the email has been sent. And now usually the user can give a reply to the email sent to the mailbox of the group. However, from my experience, I've seen that the behavior is very inconsistent. What I can show you is this. you go as admin, you go inside of Exchange, then you go to groups. Here inside of groups, we will select our groups and we will change some settings. Inside of groups, we click on it, then we go to settings, and one important setting to change is this: send copies of group conversations and events to group members. Then here on manage delegates, we click on edit manage delegates and we add Alice Johnson and James Smith, and we give them send as and send on behalf permission. Then we click on save. Now, normally this would be enough for our users to be able to reply to any email as the group, not as themselves. However, again, from my experience, I've seen that the behavior of Microsoft 365 regarding what I have just said is very inconsistent. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So for this video, I will wait until the end, and then at the end, I will test if I can send replies as the group and not as a user. Okay, but until now I have showed you that the group has been created, the members have been added to group, and that the group mailbox works. Now let's talk about teams. The most important thing that we need to understand is that in order for multiple users to have a Teams group, each and every single user must have access to Teams. So what we need to verify first, we need to go into Admin Center, then we go to our active users, then we go to the two users of the group, which are Alice Johnson and James Smith. We go to licenses and apps, then we go to apps and we search for Teams, and we can see search for Teams, and we can see that Microsoft Teams is enabled for Alice Johnson, and the same can be said about James Smith, but I will show it to you for the purpose of this video. Down here we can see that Microsoft Teams is enabled. Okay, now after we have made sure that both users or all of the users of the group actually have Teams, now what we need to do is we need to give our Microsoft 365, we need to give the group access to Teams. So we can go down here, we can go to active teams and groups, then we can see our sales group, and here we can see Teams status, and we can see that it doesn't show anything, meaning we don't have Teams for this group. So let's enable it. We will click on the group, and here we can see that the software actually asks us, would you like to add Microsoft Teams to this group? And I click on add Teams. You have added a team to this group. To manage advanced team setting, go to Microsoft Teams Admin Center. Okay, so we can go do that. Go to Teams, and here it asks me to log in. I will pause the video and come back after I'm inside of the Teams Admin Center. Okay, we are back. You can see I'm inside of Teams. Now let's see if the users can access Teams. So I'll go as the user. I'm here as Alice Johnson. I'll go to apps, then I'll click on Teams. So okay, I'm Johnson. I'm inside of Teams. I can go to activity and see I've been that Alice Johnson has been added to the sales group. No, thank you. And here inside of chat, you can see Teams now in sales group that is post subject standard post and Alice Johnson first post and click on post. And here I have post. And let's also go inside of Teams as let's sign in. Okay, I will pause the video and come back as James Smith inside of things. We are back, and I have entered inside of Teams as James, and I can also see the general, and we can see the post that Alice made, and let's make apply first apply James Smith, and we click on send. And the reply has been made. As Johnson can see that as if the reply ended. We see that Teams works. Now let's talk about Teams policies and how we create a Teams policy. So as the admin user, we go inside of Microsoft Teams Admin Center. Then we go to Settings and Policies. Then we go to Custom Policies for Users Groups. And we click here on Teams. After clicking here on Teams, we are here in Manage Policies. We can add, and here we can add a policy. We will give it a name, Sales Group Policy. Simple description. And here we can specify exactly what sort of rules we want to apply. We will click on Save to create simple policy. Then we need to, once a policy is created, it needs to be assigned to the group. So we can click here on Assign Groups, and we can add a group. So let's go ahead and do that. Add, and we will click here the group, which is Sales Group. Sales Group. Click on Add. Then click Apply. And this is how we create Teams policies and assign those Teams policies to our Teams group. Excellent. What I would like to see is this. We can I have gone back to Manage Policies, and you can see the policy. Then we can go to Group Policy, and we can see the policies that have been applied to our group. Okay, let's talk about SharePoint a bit. SharePoint is a place where users have access to a site where they can share different forms of media. That is SharePoint. It can be done from Teams or even from Outlook. Inside of Teams, we go to our group. Okay, maybe I am mistaken. Not inside of Teams. Inside of Outlook, I'm sorry. So not inside of Teams, inside of Outlook. We go inside of Outlook. We go to step by step. Go to inbox, then we go to groups. Then we select our group, and then here on the right side we have this small button, and when we hover over it, we see site. once we click on it, we will end up here in SharePoint, where we have basically the website of our group. And we can see, we can go to conversations, and here are the conversations of the group. You can go to documents, and all of that. Notebook will and many functionality of Microsoft SharePoint. Okay, let's go back. Instead of page called home, we also create a page. We can click on pages, then click on new, and we can select the type of page that we want. Let's select a site page. And I have started with a format of writing standard at the beginning of everything. I will just say standard. Then I will make a text post. I will say text post of this page. Then I will click on publish. Okay, once published, we can see that we have access to it. And inside of the page, you can see we can see the pages or the sites that we have created. Okay, that being said, we can now go to our note-taking app and confidently say that we have covered our second step. Now let's talk about document recovery to OneDrive and Share. Let's say that one of our users creates a document, then deletes that document, and for whatever reason, he or she forgets that the document has been deleted and is available in the recycling bin. The question now is, how can we, as admin support, as 365 support, as IT support, recover that document from the recycling bin of our user? And we have two answers, either through OneDrive or SharePoint. If OneDrive doesn't work, usually SharePoint works. So let's go to one of our users. Let's go to Alice Johnson. Then we click on Apps. Then we click on Word. Then we will create a simple Word document. Okay, create a blank document. Sales document by Alice. Okay, we will save it. Word for the web saves as a go. Okay, fantastic. Let's go back to home. I want to see my here. You can see my document opening. What this is the document I have created. To see it the way, we can go to OneDrive, and inside of OneDrive, I can go to Word, and here it is my document. I should add a title to it. Let's call it Alice Johnson document. Okay, Now it has been saved. Let's refresh. And here you can see that the document has been saved. Alice Johnson document. Okay, everything has refreshed and updated properly. Now, here as Alice Johnson, let's say that I delete this this document. Inside of Word. How do I delete? I think I need to close this. Refresh. Okay, I will pause the video and come back, find out how to delete a document. Okay, we're back. So inside of home, I go to my file, and inside of my file, I click here on action and I click delete. Now the item has been deleted and it's here in the recycling, but for what, let's say that you doesn't remember that he has deleted the document and it's in the recycling. What can I, as IT support, do to help this user? Very simple. We into our admin account, go to active, we go to admin center, then we go to active users. We go to the user that has deleted the document, which in this case is Alice Johnson. Then we go to OneDrive. And here we can go to get access to files. Click on create link files. Then we click on the link that has been created. And once this loads, we will end up in the OneDrive of our user, which is Alice Johnson. Once this is sorted. Okay, we are back, and you can see that we are inside of Alice Johnson's OneDrive, and we only see this folder attachment because she has deleted the document, the Word document she has created. And unfortunately, on the left-hand side, we don't see the recycling bin. Sometimes we do see, sometimes don't. I don't know what that is, but that's the behavior of Microsoft 365. So what is our next option? Our next option is to use SharePoint. So we go back to Admin Center, then we go to SharePoint. Okay, again, I will pause and come back once I'm inside of SharePoint. Okay, I'm inside of SharePoint Admin Center. Here we go to more features, then we go to user profiles. We click open. Okay, I don't know why it takes so long. It's not my fault. Okay, now inside of user profiles, we go to manage user profiles. Manage user profiles. Again, it takes so long. I don't know why that is. I'll pause and come back when I'm inside of manage user profiles. Okay, we are inside of user profiles, and now we need to search for our user. So Alice, the only user that has the name Alice is Alice Johnson. So I haven't written out the whole name. Okay, so I have introduced the name Alice. I clicked on find, and here I can see that I have found my user. Now I can click on it, and I click on manage personal site. Okay, I will log in, then come back. Okay, now we are inside of site settings, and here in site collection administration, we can see recycling bin. We will click on it, and I clicked on it with my mouse wheel so I can open it in a new tab. And here inside of SharePoint, we can see the document that Alice Johnson has deleted. We can click on it, and we can click on restore. Let's do that. Let's restore the item, the document. And then we can go back as Alice Johnson. We will refresh OneDrive, and here you can see that our document has been restored. So this is the way in which we can restore items that have been deleted. Now, there is also a secondary recycling bin. So after you have deleted a document once, it goes into the recycling bin. Then inside of the recycling bin, if you delete again, it goes into the secondary recycling bin. And if you go to the secondary recycling bin and delete one more time, then that document is permanently deleted. The administrator can no longer help you in recovering that document. However, for now, let's go back to, for now, let's go back to our note-taking app, and let's just mark that we have document recovery. Now let's talk about exchange rules. Email is very important, and we don't want to accept all of the email that comes to our business. So let's impose some rules regarding of what email can enter or not. So we will go back as admin, then we go to admin center, then we will go to exchange. Okay, again, I will log in and come back. Okay, we are inside of exchange, and we can go here to mail flow. Then inside of mail flow, we can go to rules, and these are some of the previously created rules. These are some of the rules that I have previously created. So we'll just click on add rule, then we'll create a rule. We will call it standard rule, and for this rule, I will say if the sender is external internal is outside the organization, then do the following. We will redirect the message to these recipients, and I will be the recipient. Then we will click on next. Severity will be low. Okay, we can add additional information, and we click on finish. Okay, the transport rule created successfully. We can see that our standard rule has created. Now we need to enable it. We can click on it, and we can click enable. We need to wait a little bit for the rule to actually be enabled. Okay, now that the rule is enabled, let's test it out. I will open a new browser window with my LinkedIn email, and I will try to send an email to one of the users of this business. Okay, I'm inside of my Google account, my Gmail account. I have created this mail. I will send it to Alice, and this email should be redirected towards the administrator, which is myself. So I will just click on send. Message has been sent, and I will go to my Outlook. And we can see here that the email has been sent successfully. This is my Gmail account that I publish on, and we can see here that the email has been redirected. Redirect this email. So this is how exchange rules work. So let's check this step. Now our final step is mail trace, and mail trace is a method that we use for troubleshooting mail. So I have sent many more emails on this account, and I will have a log full of mails in my mail trace. So I can go to Exchange Admin Center, then mail flow, then message trace or mail trace. Then we can click on start the trace, and here we set our parameters regarding of the timeline or the date that we want to select for the trace. So we will just have this slider, and we say in the last 7 days what emails have been sent and what are their status. So here we can select many more settings. We will just do a summary report. Let's click search. And here we can see all of the emails that have been sent in the past 7 days in a particular time zone. Now, if we click on one of these emails, if we double click on one of these emails, we can see the status of the email. We can see what its status is or was. And in the case that an email couldn't be delivered, let's say we get this example where the status of the email is failed, double click on it, and we can see that we have a failed status. There is one example. This is a good example. Here we have a situation where we had a test rule called test rule of exclusion that basically excluded or rejected any email that came from an outside source. And the system even gives us a fix. It tells us to make sure this doesn't happen again, you'll need to update the mail flow rule, and it gives you a step-by-step instruction of how to fix this. So, and I have this rule. It is disabled right now, but I have this rule. I won't give a full presentation of the rule since this is basically what would happen. We will have a situation where we will get this mail trace where we can see that message hasn't been delivered. It hasn't been delivered because of this rule, and we will have to disable or update this rule in order for the message to be delivered. And the user on his end, or the sender on his end, would receive an email where it would clearly state that his message wasn't received because of a rule that we have set up. So yes, this is the second part of my project. I have done all the steps. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you all for watching. Any sort of documentation about this project will be linked down below. I'll leave a link to my GitHub repository of this project. And yes, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. And I will see you later. Goodbye.